Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. I'm tired of shit.
Hello friends and my lovely viewers. Welcome back to the channel of Prettiness. Today, we will take a look at the new monkey clan that recently came out. The clan name is Seun, and these champions are assassins. By the way, did I mention the opening screen looks absolutely stunning? What do you think? Isn't this just perfect for the upcoming season? Well, anyways, let us start the video by checking out the skills of our male champion first. He looks so freaking cool, especially in the animation. He swings around as if he was swinging in the trees. I just love it. And the weapon seemed to be a dual section stick, or maybe a rattan weapon. It was kinda hard finding a name for it. Let me know if I'm completely missing the name. He also really reminds me of the Monkey King. Anyways, I would rate him a 9 out of 10 according to his looks alone. Let's see his active skill now. He will slam the ground with the colossal cudgel, which inflicts stun to the enemies in the straight paths and deals damage equal to 500% of our male champion's strength. And this attack also deals additional damage equal to 10% of the enemy's max constitution, up to 1500% of our champion's strength. Afterwards, he will instantly move behind the weakest enemy champion. Okay, so it seems his weapon is called the Colossus Cudgel. The attack goes in a straight line, deals a pretty good amount of damage in my opinion, and it also deals additional damage according to the enemy's max constitution, but has a limit according to our champion's strength. I guess this means that facing off high constitution opponents is beneficial for him. Also, if our champion has a high strength, that would also raise the limit, if you know what I mean. As his attack goes in a straight line, that means he may be able to strike multiple enemies. It kinda depends on how far his attack goes, and if there are a lot of remaining enemies or not. Not to mention, even their positioning matters, as it is a straight line kind of attack. I must say that I feel positive about his first skill so far. It looks promising. It is time for his passive skill. Haughty Sage. His normal attacks will have a 80% chance to deal double the damage and also ignore the enemy's fortitude. For every 3 normal attacks made, the champion gains 60% lifesteal and his strength will be increased by 25% over the next 6 seconds. Wow, it sounds really impressive. This passive has a lot of significant buffs. A very high chance of dealing double the damage in normal attacks as well as ignore fortitude. Every time he lands 3 normal attacks, the lifesteal and strength is increased with the mentioned percentage for 6 seconds. I don't know if I'm just imagining things, but I very often feel like the new champions got more buffs, strength, defense, and basically they're like an improved version of most of the previous champions. It's almost like Bloodline champions keep outdoing each other in every release and update. Anyways, enough rambling. Let us move on to his final skill. We got a really long skill description this time. He will summon a Dharma's image that descends upon the enemy and attacks all the enemy targets within a certain radius. Dharma's image lasts for 9 seconds. During this period, whenever the champion suffers a control effect, it will be nullified, and the Dharma's image immediately launches an attack forward. The control immunity has a cooldown of 1.5 seconds. The Dharma's image cannot be attacked. While the Dharma's image is present, the champion's attack speed is increased by 35%. Each attack of the Dharma's image deals damage equal to 600% of our male champion's own strength, plus the additional damage which is equal to 18% of the target's max constitution to all enemy targets within range, up to 2000% of our champion's strength. Okay, so Dharma's image is created. It lasts for 9 seconds. It is a AoE type of attack that hits all the enemies on the opponent team that are within a certain radius. The radius is unknown. Control effects are nullified while the effect is going on, but the immunity against control effects has a cooldown of 1.5 seconds. It's not a long cooldown though, in my opinion, so I'm not concerned about it to be honest. And whenever a control effect is used, he will launch an attack forward. The Dharma image cannot be attacked. 35% more attack speed is given to our male champion while the Dharma effect is active. Each Dharma attack deals 600% of our male champion's strength. And there will also land some damage on the enemy targets that are within range. This equals to 18% of the target's max constitution, and it has a limit of 2000% of our male zone's strength. I hope I was able to break it down for you all, and at least make it a little bit more understandable. So this is clearly a high damage dealing skill. It is literally meant to damage single targets as well as the surrounding ones. It also buffs our champion with even more attack speed and protects us from control effects. What do you think about him? Good or meh? Feel free to let us know your thoughts below. Anyways, this all being said so far, we have another champion to check out as well. The female looks truly amazing. She got the same weapon as the male and a badass animation. The champion's representations have improved a lot since the early stages of this game. Honestly, if I was to rate this champion according to the looks, I would say it's a 10 out of 10. I cannot find anything to dislike about her. Now, let us start with her active skill, which is called Shadow Pin. She will inflict immobilized on the enemy target for 4 seconds. When the immobilized effect expires, there will be additional damage dealt to the target. It equals to 60% of the total damage received during the effect period. When cast repeatedly upon the same target, the immobilized effect duration will not stack, but the bonus damage effect can stack. It sounds great. I just wish you would also strategically target a lowest constitution enemy or something, instead of throwing randomized skill attacks. But this skill can still be very valuable on the battlefield. The immobilization effect cannot stack up, so the max will always be 4 seconds. That doesn't mean it cannot be renewed once the 4 seconds are up though. And the bonus damage can stack like it's mentioned. I got a great feeling from this, so let's see her passive skill next. Spirit Away. Ah damn. It reminds me of the movie called Spirited Away. I assume you have watched it, as it is an absolute legendary work of art. But back to the passive skill. When our champion's constitution is lower than 80%, 50% and 20% for the first time in combat, the champion slips into the void for 5 seconds and creates a decoy that lasts for 15 seconds. The decoy inherits all base stats of the champion and can cast skills. While in the void, the champion becomes invincible, gains 80 energy per second, but is unable to move or take actions. After 5 seconds, the champion launches a sudden strike from the void against the weakest enemy, dealing damage equal to 80% of the champion's strength. Okay. I think I understand what this passive skill means. Our champion starts the battle with full constitution, right? And then once her constitution drops to below 80%, this whole effect is activated. She creates a decoy that inherits all of her base stats and can also cast skills. Our champion becomes invincible, gains 80 energy per second, but cannot move or take actions. After 5 seconds, she can launch a sudden strike against the weakest enemy and deal some damage. Then after her constitution once again drops to below 50%, this whole effect happens again. And same goes for the 20% mark. But if she is healed up and goes back to, for instance, 85% and then drops to 75%, this effect will not repeat itself. It can only happen once for each of the mentioned stages, so a total of 3 times, aka when she drops below 80% constitution for the first time, when she drops below 50% for the first time, and when she drops below 20% for the first time in battle. At least this is what I understood from her passive. Feel free to correct me if you believe it works differently. Anyways, I believe she got a really great passive here. I like the invincibility effect, but kinda wish it lasted for longer, and I wish the damage she deals in the end could be a little bit higher, but I think we all kinda wish for these kinda things. And overall, she may become a great champion. Let us move on to the final skill of hers, aka the ultimate. She will create a couple of decoys that last for 15 seconds. I think this is what we saw in our animation earlier. The decoys inherit all base stats of the champion and can cast skills. Afterward, the decoys charge at random enemy targets, dealing damage equal to 750% of our female champion's strength. And this attack also increases the target's damage taken by 35% for 4 seconds. The effect cannot be stacked, so 2 decoys for 15 seconds that inherits all base stats of our female champion and can cast skills. Each one of them deals 750% damage of our champion's strength to a random enemy target, and increases their damage taken by 35% for 4 seconds. The damage taken effect cannot be stacked though, so it is only renewable I guess. Is it actually 750% damage of strength for each of the decoys though? Or is it the combined damage? How it is being described here, it sounds like it is each one of them, you know. And that is pretty dope. I personally think her ultimate is very good, and it doesn't have a limit like the male's ultimate skill does. What do you think about them so far? I actually like both of them equally as much, so it would be hard for me to choose today. By the way, perhaps we should see their clan trait before giving the final thoughts on this clan. Shura's Avatar. At level 18, when casting an active skill or ultimate attack, the champion's critical damage will be increased by 1% for 3 seconds. Stacks up to 2 layers. I guess it makes sense as they're assassins. We do need some critical damage as well, you know. And it is also stackable, which I like. So, I would say that it's decent. I cannot find anything wrong with it. Would you summon for these champions, by the way? Feel free to let us know in the comment section below. I may summon for them, but I'm still not quite sure. Nor do I know if I have enough resources for the time being. And I don't want to risk it. But if you think these champions may be a great fit with your team, I would recommend you try your luck. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed today's content. And do let me know if you have any thoughts in terms of negative and positive ones concerning our new champions. This is all for today. Have an amazing week everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, stay foxy, adios, bye.